Hey friends. So I don't know if any of you watch The Breakfast Club. It's a radio show on Power 105.1 FM, but they have a YouTube channel. All of the show is recorded live and then they upload the different segments to their YouTube channel. And yeah, I've been a fan for years. I enjoy it. I like keeping up on hip hop culture because I enjoy the music, I enjoy the drama, I enjoy knowing what's going on. So, as so often happens, today in the last 24 hours, the Breakfast Club has became the story instead of reporting the story. Here's a little background. Okay, so the host of the Breakfast Club, the two main hosts are Charlemagne the God and DJ Envy. For 12 years, they had a female co-host, Angela Yee. She also had her own show on YouTube, her own interview show. She's the one who actually broke the interview with the young guy who was friends with Jaden Smith, and also the guy who Jada Smith got into the entanglement with that Will was crying about on that Red Table Talk. So that's Angela Yee. She was co-host for 12 years of the Breakfast Club. And then last year she got an offer for her own show and she decided to leave the Breakfast Club. There was rumors that there was some drama there, and honestly, the last year or two that she was at the Breakfast Club, she seemed kind of checked out. So maybe the drama rumors are true. I don't know. But when Angela left, they did a series of test co-host with people basically trying out for the job by co-hosting, subbing in as co-host live on air. My pick personally was Claudia Jordan. I'm a big fan of Claudia Jordan. She was doing the TGIF show at the time. It's since imploded because Al and Funky Dineva had some drama that basically imploded the show that Claudia Jordan set up and started. But they didn't choose Claudia. They chose a comedian, Jess Hilarious. Now, Jess did do good with Charlemagne and DJ in the tryouts because the tryouts were mainly about how they got along with the co-hosts. And she's known Charlemagne the God for years. They're friends. So she felt comfortable giving Charlemagne some clapbacks that some of the others didn't. And it went over really well. Now, something I will say is when she got the job, they intentionally staged a little prank drama for views. Jess went on Instagram and said, "These N-words trash." And that got everybody to thinking that after her tryout and then continued work there, that there wasn't going to be an announcement that maybe she didn't actually get the job. Well, the day after she posted that, after everything was going nuts for like 24 hours, then they did the rollout of Jess with the Mess segment. And the rollout is great. The intro is great. But when she actually started the segment and there was more to it than just her interaction and banter with Charlemagne and DJ Envy, problems started. Their literacy is a big issue in a lot of areas of America. It's a big issue in the Ozarks, where I come from. Sometimes whenever I'm researching family documents, I run into roadblocks because just a few generations back, the people couldn't read or write. And I have cousins alive to this day who are very smart, who still struggle with reading. Reading comprehension isn't always about lack of literacy programs. Sometimes it's an issue in your brain. You might be an extremely intelligent person and still struggle with reading. I think we all know that, but I just want to throw that out there. But the problem that arose is the Jess with the Mess segment was structured to be a news segment that, oh, Jess is messy. She will tell this news and deliver it in a funny, messy way because she's this messy comedian that, has good banter with Charlemagne and Envy. The problem came in that they would have printed out papers of the news stories that they wanted her to read and then banter about. Too often, Jess couldn't read them. She would get a little bit and get confused, couldn't understand the word. And a lot of times she would get irritated about it. Charlemagne would start making jokes about her struggle with reading, and she'd get aggravated, throw it down. It could be a really interesting segment a lot of times for fans of the Breakfast Club. And it just, the story wouldn't even get finished. We'd have to go Google what happened because just would struggle with reading it so bad that they would just go off into banter and the story would be forgotten. And the comments were not good. This was going on almost from the get go, from the time she started trying to read news segments. So that went on for a while. And then Jess got pregnant and she left on maternity leave and she chose Lauren LaRosa to fill in for her. Lauren was a producer at the show. She wasn't on camera, but she was a producer. So Lauren filled in, and Lauren is a former TMZ reporter. So she has a journalistic background. And holy crap, she come in and did amazing. Like they would be astounded. Like Lauren, not only it's not about her reading comprehension skills, it's about her journalistic skills. Like Lauren would read a segment about off the paper about deportations of immigrants after Trump's election and after all this started, and then she'd follow up with, and I reached out to ICE, and what I've got back was, and there, Charlemagne's like, you reached out to ICE, and she was like, yeah, they have a media department option there on their website, and you can turn in a media request, and blah blah blah. And like, yeah, she was always doing that. Not only did she read the news, she had reached out to sources, she'd reached out to departments, she reached out to government officials, she reached out to Homeland Security one time. It was really good. And so then I think personally what happened is that they thought, okay, we were already having an issue with just being able to do the segment that was laid out for her. Maybe we can kind of combine them so that the news actually gets in there and then Jess can kind of do her hilarious, messy thing and we get the banner going. Well, it didn't work out very well because Jess, when she came back, apparently it wasn't clearly communicated to her that Lauren was now going to be a part of the segment. And her perception was, hey, I asked her to fill in for me, but why ain't this lady getting out of my seat? Unfortunately, last night, Jess decided to go on Instagram Live and air it all out. Let's take a look at some key points.
Lauren LaRosa her fucking flowers. And will always. Because what does she do? She does this shit. Okay?
So she starts off good here. Like she gives Lauren her flowers. Jess does compliment Lauren a lot on the show.
She shows up. She has a background in journalism. I don't, but that's not why I was hired. I was hired to do Jess with the Mess.
She's right there. She was hired to do Jess with the Mess because of her personality, because of the banter, because of her comedic skills. Her relationship with Charlemagne added to it because she, like I said, a lot of people are afraid to clap back at Charlemagne. Jess told him, shut up. Sometimes you need to be told, shut up. But yeah. But I feel like maybe they weren't aware when they structured the Jess with the Mess segment that she wasn't going to be able to read the stories. And the news part would basically just get trashed because of that.
I was hired to carry that third seat. And I was doing that just great. But then I got pregnant.
I feel like there might be a bit of denial there, because the comments were bad before she got pregnant because of what I said, because of the way that entire news segments would just get trashed when she couldn't get through the first few lines of the paper.
By my fiance. Yeah, I did. Wouldn't regret it, never would. I fuck around and have another one. Stop playing with me, okay? So, I picked her. All right, cool. It's proof of that, too. When I got back, she never left. I constantly was asking about, and when I say I called Charlemagne, I called our program.
Now, it does sound like she did try behind the scenes to get clarification. What's going on? When is she leaving? However, Jess tells us that she was really in her feelings about it whenever she came back. So we don't know exactly how she went about that. Jess is a comedian. Professionalism in a corporate type structure is not going to be her forte. That is not a putting her down. It's just maybe she was in an environment here that she didn't exactly know how to work the right way. Also, two things can be true. They didn't take it upon themselves to actually communicate with her right. I mean, they should have let her know, listen, we felt the news segments were not getting the attention that they needed. We want Jess with the mess to still happen. We think Lauren could help you with that part, and then you do the messy comedian part, and this would still work. They should have clearly communicated that to her. It seems like that didn't happen.
Rector, I called the boss, I called, and I'm asking, all right, what's going on? Where's she going? Why is she not leaving? What's up?
I just gotta pause and say Jess looks so freaking cute here. I love her necklace. I love the head wrap. Like, yeah, earrings on point.
Why she's still on air? I was told that she was going to be the producer. She was going to be hired as a producer. Okay. Producers aren't on air though. So what's going on? Because we
Well, I mean, Jess had her put on air, but I do understand she's confused about why she stayed.
have a lot of producers up there already. They're not on air. What's going on? I've called and I've asked many times. That's what I got told. She's a producer. Oh, okay, cool. So I ain't asked no more. She's only on my segment. So I'm like, all right. I'm putting shit together because that's what I do. I put shit together. All right.
That can get you in trouble sometimes because sometimes, you know, a puzzle piece might seem like it fits together, but it's not the right one, and incorrect conclusions can be made. I see it happen in all areas of life all the time. I'm guilty of it sometimes, you know, and then I have to correct myself. Y'all have seen me make apology videos.
Here we go. So Shorty must about to be on the show. That's exactly what I put in my fucking head before anybody decided to come and tell me again. So I did another round of asking, all right, what are we?
See, if she already had this decided in her head before she did the round of asking, that might indicate of how the questions came across, and maybe people were afraid to tell her the truth. I mean, if people were in charge over her making that decision, I don't feel that that's a good excuse. You shouldn't be afraid to, you know, you basically just have the balls and get it done, whatever. But anyway.
What we doing? All right, well, we've always, this is the boss. We've always considered having a fourth seat. But when the fuck was y'all gonna tell me that? When was your, and this is months after I came back. This was like 2 months after I came back from maternity leave. We've always, ever since Angela Yee left, we said that we would consider having 4 seats. So why, when me and Claudia Jordan did the guest co-hosting, or me and Kendra G did the guest co-hosting, did everybody say, oh, it ain't gonna work with 4 people? Why?
Okay, so I mean, it's the management's prerogative to decide if they want to have a 4th seat, and maybe they did always consider it, and it wouldn't have necessarily been something that they had to tell her. At the same time, she still has a point that if this 4th seat only happens on her segment.
Why, right? Why was that ever even said? Why wasn't that something that was presented at the jump, like from jump, at the top of the shit?
I'm gonna jump ahead of here to an interesting part.
Technically became cool. Once I realized what the fuck was going on, like I said, my anger was misplaced. No, I did not like her when I first came back. I didn't.
She said her anger was misplaced. So she was angry and didn't like Lauren when she first came back because Lauren was basically in her seat. So that tells us something about how she might have acted to.
Even down to how I was supposed to return. Like we had a whole plan on how I was supposed to come back. When I walk in the room, she never left. First thing she said is not, how your baby doing? No, that was Envy, because he's the family man, right? How was maternity leave? No, that's not the first. The first thing that she talks about is the shit that was in the comments. What the fuck would make me want to talk about the fucking comments first? I got a beautiful baby at home. Why?
I don't know if Lauren LaRosa has kids or not, but if she doesn't, then it probably wouldn't have been the first thing on her mind, because if she's clearly very career oriented. She is very focused on the details and stuff like that. She's a producer. So I feel like, maybe it come across as insensitive to Jess. She's just coming back. She's, fresh out of birth and maternity leave and everything. But the comments and how things were going probably were the main thing on Lauren's mind.
You know what I'm saying? So no, I did not like her when I first came back. I had to learn that Lauren was not a spiteful person. Like, I'm like, I don't like the way you moving. I don't like, I ain't feeling this shit.
So Jess, makes the point to say several times that she did learn to like Lauren and that they're good with her now. And like she said in the very beginning of this video, she gives her flowers. But she's still pretty pissed that apparently Lauren is taking over her segment and there's no communication about it. She feels like she's just being strung along. Okay, so there's quite a bit more to it, more to that video than that, but I'm going to cut it here because it's really long, and let's switch to what happened on the Breakfast Club this morning. Okay, so 3 videos have dropped by the Breakfast Club today addressing this. First off was Jess Hilarious addressing the criticism, and then they come back and do basically what really seems like it should have been an HR closed doors meeting on air, and then they come back with another one where callers call in and say what they think, and it seems like they really picked callers that had positive opinions about Jess. But so let's take a look at this awkwardness.
I feel blessed, black, and highly favored. Jess Hilarious is here.
I'm cool.
Okay.
Jess has been job. I came into work. What's up?
She's been trending all day.
Yes.
I think she's number 9 right now.
Okay. Because I was sitting at home last night trying to watch Magazine Dreams, and I kept getting a bunch of phone calls and text messages, and people was like, Jess Hilarious is going off on live.
But we have audio.
Okay.
We supposed to be a team up there. Not one person comes to my defense at all. Like when I'm
so this is a part that I cut out. She complained that no one comes to her defense about the stuff online, and she's talking partly about the comments and partly about a couple of like DJ academics and a couple of other commentator comedians that are big in the hip hop culture commentary community who come after Jess in favor of Lauren, and she felt apparently like DJ Envy Charlemagne, somebody should have done something publicly about it.
Like not one mother ever with this online. Come on, I've been quiet a lot. If Jess Hilarious is quiet, it's some other reason. I always got my mouth open all the time. Just ran like a high school. It is Fair East Side High.
I agree with that.
Fair East Side High.
Fair point.
Before Mr.
That's funny. Charlemagne agreed with that.
Club though. Every day, and they always talk about you ain't at work. Yeah. I started picking up more shows. Hell no. That's how I'm getting. Hell no.
That's another thing. She kind of stopped coming in all that much for a while.
Hell no. I have more fun outside the studio than I have in there now. Is you crazy?
No, act like that's not for real. Act like nobody knew that. Stop acting like y'all like
What
we
part?
really.
What you mean we don't have your back?
I have
Break
more-
that down. Explain how we don't have your back.
Okay, all right. So the narrative, like I said, with the online ish, that's what I said. Y'all ain't nobody trying to clear up no narrative about nothing. Ever since I came back, it was weird. Yes, it was weird. Yeah,
I feel like what nobody wants to acknowledge or say to her directly is that it was weird when she came back because the news was actually getting read while she was gone. I hate saying that because I like Jess.
At first, no, I did not. I wasn't too fond of Lauren. No, I wasn't too fond of her. When I
see, she admits again, and we don't know exactly, what the treatment was during that period before she learned to like her.
Came back because we had a whole plan. Even how when I came back, how I pick her to fill in for me, right? I come back, she ain't never leave. Then all right, cool that she don't leave, but she's on only during my segment. If she was meant to be a fourth host, move her in another way. Why she got to be moved in on? Because nobody had a problem with Jess with the mess until she started reading right. You know what I mean?
Did y'all hear that? Nobody had a problem with Jess with the mess until she started reading right. That's the whole deal there, Jess. That's what nobody wants to acknowledge to you.
until she
Reading
started,
right.
till she started
So, hold on,
reporting.
hold on.
I wasn't hired as a reporter.
Charlemagne again has no chill. He's pointing it out.
I was hired as Jess with the mess. So she started reading and delivering details and all that stuff.
Yes.
Then that's when Jess with the mess wasn't good enough no more. That's how it was presented. So I'm like,
That's how it happened. Like, she wants to say that this only changed because of her maternity leave in some points, but the truth is, Lauren came in able to read the news segment and give details, and people liked it better. And they didn't want to take her out. They should have been upfront with Jess about it, but Jess needs to also recognize reality here.
all right, cool.
But who said that though? Because the internet said
What
that?
are we talking about? No.
Okay, so then after that, Jess goes on for quite a while, and Lauren LaRosa never really gets a chance to answer back. So then they drop another 8-minute, 42-second clip where they're, like I said, it's kind of like they're having a meeting that really should have been closed doors, but they're doing it live for us. So let's check that out.
Rage and this Baltimore madness. Okay, now you bring this Delaware.
You shut up. You shut up.
All
There's Lauren LaRosa. Isn't she beautiful?
I want to do is radio. Okay, all Charlemagne want to do is laugh. Then y'all yell at me for laughing. You don't take nothing serious.
They said it's all your fault.
I know it's always my fault. I don't care. Okay, I take the good and the bad with everything. It is what it is. It's the world's most dangerous morning show, The Breakfast Club. DJ Envy, Charlemagne the God, Jess Hilarious, Lauren LaRosa is here. We're having a conversation because Jess Hilarious went crazy on Instagram last night.
And I knew the live would upset. You know, Charlemagne, you don't get upset, whatever. But I knew that it would upset Envy. I knew it would upset Lauren. That's why you closed the elevator this morning.
That was crazy. Now, why would you do
This is so funny.
that, Lauren?
I
But you would close the
I wanted
elevator.
to.
They pulled up at the same time.
At the same time where we parked. And she was in front of me.
She saw Jess. She didn't know
She
what
saw
Jess was
me.
on, so she
She
rushed to the
ran
elevator.
to the
She hit the
elevator.
button. You remember when Q was on Juice and
I
you
hit
thought
the
that shit
button.
was behind him?
I hit the button one time, and this was
I
why.
heard the button.
Some of that stuff that Jess said about Lauren in her live, even though she went back and forth saying, I give Lauren her flowers, I probably would have hit the close button too. I don't blame you, Lauren. I got you.
No, it
I
was
said
like,
I felt like I didn't know what to say to you because I was so thrown off by parts of that live yesterday. I'm like, bro, we be talking at least enough. Like, we don't got to be friends outside of here. But I feel like I've always said to you off air, whenever things have happened, we've had conversations about a lot of different things. Let's talk. Call me.
Yeah, after somebody goes off on you on a live like that, whenever you have normal communications and they didn't choose to do that, why would you want to be stuck in an elevator with them? Not me. Do it too, Lauren.
me. What's up? What's the issue? What's going on?
The issue is the whole narrative. Like, I understand F the comments and F the people and all that. But it's not all about them. It's how I'm feeling too. What if I'm feeling the same way the people feel? You know what I'm saying? So what? Because
Jess honestly gets really freaking confusing here. She starts talking about how maybe she feels the same way as the commenters do, and that maybe this should just be, Lauren with the latest. Well, which way do you feel, Jess? Do you feel like Lauren needs her own segment and you need to do Jess with mess? Or do you feel like the commenters are right and you need to move out and it needs to be Lauren with the latest? Because it's honestly confusing. It's clear like she's just not happy with the situation, and that is understandable. But I am honestly confused on what exactly she wants. I'll put links to each one of the Breakfast Club shows that I'm talking about here down below. And if you guys have any thoughts on the matter, if you watch it, let me know what you think in the comments, because I'm really into this drama and I'm curious. Have a good day, y'all.